Hey there, I am Josie, and I wanted to follow up on our last five technique. So we kind of just drew it out on our paper, and now you might be wondering, okay, Josie, but what do I do with that? Where do we go from there? Okay, when I have a messy paper, what you can do, you can erase it. You can just take your isopropyl alcohol, take a little paper towel. This one is very small, but I mean, here. Take a paper towel that is clean, not dirty, otherwise this will reactivate in the contact with the contact of the isopropyl alcohol. You can just erase and restart, especially if you're limited in paper. Something I like to do, I won't erase it. For me, I will just extend all of this all over my paper and I will do bookmark with it. So this is something I will do. So now I'm going to get a new paper and let's jump right in. We will do a little flower design, something very simple, but with those techniques that we learned in the last video I posted. So see it as like a part two on what to do with what we've learned. Here it is. I would push this like this. It's a 9 by 12 narrow paper, 150 micron. I still don't know how to pronounce it. After all those times, I have my dust blower. I will add a little something today. I have gold. This is the gold from Piñata. So I'm going to use this today. It's an add-on on your new skills. I always try to think about how I'm going to place my things so it's composition wise, it's visually appealing. So either I'm going to do one flower and keep it very simple, or I can make maybe three and it makes like a, let's say, like a kind of triangle. Triangle shape is something that is very pleasing to the eyes in general. What I'm going to do is I want, which color? Where's my color? Oh, this one. Okay. So opening on the side, not on top of my page. I'm gonna put a drop on my parchment paper or on my color palette. I'm gonna take my soft brush, have all the way a lot of paint on it, and I'm gonna go and draw. I'll go right in the middle. Gonna make a circle. Make only one flower. I'm gonna add a little more then because I'm gonna need enough to make 5 petals. I might have to add more. Make it a little bigger. Here, I use a lot my brush. It gives direction to my ink. So this is something I really like. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my isopropyl. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go a little like at an angle. I'm gonna do 3, 1, 2, 3 drop, 4 drop. Now it's touching here. I'm gonna go move it, and while it's wet, I'm gonna create my petal and move my isopropyl alcohol in it. I'm gonna use 1 drop. Now it looked like nothing. Don't worry. 1 tiny drop of this, and then I will push it. And here you can play with the petal a little bit while it's drying. Now I go very gentle on my dust blower. It's a little dusty in it. Don't hesitate to remove the dusty. You just go with the brush tip while it's still wet and you just pick it up. And it's going to remove. Okay. Now what I like to do is going at an angle that give me enough space for another petal in the middle. So it just helped me balance my petals better. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4, tiny bit. I'm gonna put, oh, wait. I want to activate this a little bit more. I want to lift off the edge. One tiny drop here. And push, one good push. There you go. So as you can see, I push from the side most of the time. I don't go right on top, otherwise it's gonna go sideways. I want to keep it in. So that's the way you do it. Even with the dust blower, you can create nice little pattern and lines. So I feel like my camera doesn't give good value to the gold right now. But as you can see, I put the gold after, and this is simply because it floats better. If I put it under, it doesn't work as well. Now I'm gonna put an extra drop, a little darker here. I'm gonna bring all this, and I'm gonna do a petal. The next one I go to this side. 1, 2, 3. Put it a little bit far. I'm gonna bring it back. And again, I lift what is dry. The reason I wait that it dries at the beginning is because as soon as I will put my isopropyl alcohol to make a petal, then it's gonna take the entire circle of ink in the middle. And I don't want that. I want each petal to have a little bit of that ink. Okay, now I'm just gonna reactivate here on my paper. I might want it even more concentrate. So I'm gonna add a drop because my petals are quite light in color. I should have put I wasn't sure what we're gonna do. So I should have put the color, the dot directly in the center. So I'm just adding a little bit. I'm gonna wait that it dries. Then, like I said, if I go now while it's all wet, I'm gonna grab everything, but I wanna leave that part here for this petal and this part here for this petal because I have 2 more petals coming in. Okay, now it's dry. I'm gonna go with my isopropyl. 1, 2, 3, 4 drop. I'm gonna make it touch, give it a shape. You need to work quite fast, especially if it starts going into other petals. Otherwise, it's gonna start like kind of eating the other petals. So now I'm showing you with the hard edge, and then we'll make another flower, but with soft edge. To really work on those 2 techniques. Now, remember, anything you don't like, you can add your ink. Yeah, your ink, your isopropyl alcohol, and go back and play with it again. Don't forget though, you want to play with it while it's wet so it moves freely. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here you notice I did not touch it because it's so close. I don't want my petal to start being super big and eating the other one. So I go gently. I'm gonna add here and push it right away. There you go. Yes. Beautiful. I love it. And again, I go on the side. Now I've created this flower. It has hard edge. Let's make another one. Let's make it like right here, maybe. You know what? Yeah, this one will look quite alone. Okay, I'll make another one. I'd kind of look on the side. Where's my ink? And this one, I will put my ink right on it. And I will even push it up through what? So it's gonna dry like this. And I will just reactivate it once it's dry. Don't hesitate to try stuff and move with the ink. It's such an interesting medium. Okay, it's all dry. Now what I'm gonna do, which petal do I want on top? I think I want the last one to be this one. So I want it to be like my perspective, like this one would be on top. I want the middle one. No, I want the top one to be behind. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, right on top. Put a drop of gold just because I really like that gold. And today I'm gonna move it. I want to go and move it inside like this before it dries. And you see here, I'm pushing it inside. There was isopropyl, so it creates that effect because I'm not pushing outward, I'm pushing inward. So now we have a soft edge. You can create it while you're doing your flowers, and you can create it after. So when you create it after, if you remember, you would put your isopropyl alcohol on the outer edge, and then you would push inside. So it would create a very soft edge. So let's go with the second petals. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you see, I started outside of the color. So it will create that soft edge again. And I will bring my brush right beside. I'm gonna push it a little bit and then back inside. Look how beautiful this is. It creates like that beautiful, like, I don't know, transparency to the petals. And don't hesitate, as long as it's wet, you can go with your brush and straighten your line or anything that you feel is a little off. You can go rework it. I go very, very gently. Nice. And now I'm going to do the last one, the last petal of this one. Same thing, I'm going to start outside of it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got my French out. Start talking in French. So I'm going to push it in. Okay, let's say like here, I don't like how it goes out. I don't know if you can see. It's very, very subtle. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you first on the paper. Here I have a tiny edge kind of going out of the paper. So what I do, I take a clean paper towel, put a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on the edge. Be very careful with this. If it splashes on your art, it will create cells. So now I go here and I just go slowly and erase. There you go. Now I have two flowers with the two technique. It looked very uneven. Like clearly there's no composition really here. So we could keep just making flowers everywhere. I'm gonna make another one right here in that style. And I'm gonna make it a different, actually I'm gonna make it with that same color again. And I'm gonna make it a little smaller. Ooh, that's a lot of, okay, what I can do right now is just go put my paper towel in it and it will absorb some of it. I want a smaller flower, but I mean, we'll see what it does. So again, I want to dry it. Just stay on the sides, on the outside, I mean. It's really hard to translate in words, right? When you, I don't know for you. I'm talking for myself, of course. When I do painting, I normally don't talk to myself and explain what I'm doing. So it's kind of a challenge to say like what I'm doing. And okay, we have our circle. So my first petal, I'm gonna do the one that goes under this one, the last, because I'll have less paint and it might be less messy. So I'm gonna start with the one that would go like right beside. 1, 2, 3, tiny drop here. Activated the corner. See it touch. You really don't want it to touch too much to the other petal because they will blend together. So maybe just go and dry it first. Very, very gently. I don't know if you can hear the dust blower as I go, but I go very, very gently. I love doing those. They're so relaxing. Okay, so again, I create my first petal. I go at an angle of 90, like 130. Is that right? So I did my first petal, so I go just a little over the 90 degree, just to create that nice angle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get my brush, lift up the sides. It's for the flowers, it does give a nice look if you leave it there. Oh, and I said I would make smaller flowers. A smaller flower. This is not going to be smaller. And petals are not perfect, so don't try to make your edge exactly perfect. You want some irregularity. That's a hard word to say. You want those edges to not be perfect. So this painting is in real time. If you're faster than me, I encourage you to make this video go on faster. There's that option in the setting at the bottom right of the video. I often do that when I feel it's too long, but the best thing is to do it at the same time as me, so you're really learning hands-on. I have a tendency for me to watch video and then I have to watch them again because I was just watching and not doing. Oops. The process is very similar right now from one petal to the other, and the technique are very the base technique. I will put down the description all the segment. So if you want to move ahead and go to how I do the cells, because I will do some cells on them to show you, and then we'll create some sparks around also. Now, as you can see, I did drop, so I'm just gonna, that's more. See, I knew I would do that I would mess up with the colors. So I'm gonna turn it towards me and wipe it off. That's really a savior for those narrow paper that you can erase. Okay, gonna go here. Now, because it's gonna touch the other petal, I don't put as much, but I will put a little bit of gold. So I'm gonna do 2 drops, very small, and I make sure it doesn't touch, okay? Because as soon as it's touched, it's gonna blend. So here, I go here, and I'm gonna outline my petal. And very gently, I dry this edge first so they don't mix up together. And then I just keep going. Go. One more petals, and then I'll jump in the last technique, the cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit of gold. Let's make it touch, activate. Okay. So it needs to be completely dry before I do any cells, otherwise it's not gonna work. There you go. I do feel like this one is a little alone there. Before I finish, actually, I will put some right here. The same color here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna drop a little part, not a part, a dot. I'm gonna go around just to create some kind of whimsy background. Let's see what it does with those. 1, 2. We want to keep it very small. We wait that it reactivate. And then you start pushing it around. You don't want it to touch the petals. So you just go very gently. Can bring it closer. So it creates like an effect of there's more flowers like in the back. And right now I'm just playing with the colors, just trying things. This is something I do when I feel like things are too far apart, but I don't want to add a big element. And I do feel it's a little too the color is too heavy right there. Like I would have liked to be more like in a background color. but this is because my brush was not cleaned up. It's going towards, so I'm gonna lift my paper so it's not touching. We'll bring like a nice, more finished composition to our piece. Two again. You can see this one is a lot lighter. That's what I was aiming for on my first one. I'm just pushing from the outside, making sure everything is dry before I jump in the next step. So before I do my stem, I will cover I will do the cells. I'm gonna close this. You don't want your gold to dry, so it's important to close it as soon as you're done with it. I might need this. I'm gonna cover. No, actually, let's do. Okay, I don't want my dots to be everywhere. I want them only in this part. I'm gonna cover this right now. Okay. So again, this is definitely not clean. Let's try to remove all the purple we can. Okay, much better. I'm adding this. And let's see. I can see some. I want some at the tip here. You can also go directly and do and poke it kind of thing. And it's gonna do that effect. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, it's very delicate. As like I'm not the kind of person who makes it very, very wild. And now I want my color here. And what I want, oh wait, I need to cover it all now. I want some dots, but around. Let's make sure it's dry before I cover it. Try to have clean paper. As much as possible. Okay, let's go here. Some colors. Perfect. That's what I want. Just a little bit splash. Now my stems, I will use my markers. You know what? I'm gonna use this one. I could use just a very big black. Let's see what it does. On your parchment, this one's very green. Actually, I want that. Not very green, it's more like a green. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna kind of bring them all back to the center. I'm gonna start with this one. I'm gonna circle it. Remember, they're both alcohol ink, so they can blend together. You can make them work together. I just dip it in my isopropyl. Okay, so now I want, this one will be the more tricky. It's kind of far away from, or I bring them down, kind of. Yeah, not going in the center. This one. Let's go this way. I tried to go in one how do you say? One line. It just makes it easy. Now I'm right-handed and I started on the right. I should have started on the left. There you go. I love it. That's beautiful. Okay. Hey, if you did a project with me, please, please, please show me. I would love to see it. Give me your comment. If there's any part you didn't understand, you can comment with the time where you didn't feel you understand. And I will be happy to answer. If there's any technique you want to rework on, go check the first video where we do individual technique, but not as a project. And yeah, starter guide is in the description below. You'll have everything I'm using today in it. And yeah, hey, good luck with your project. Wishing you the best. And let me change this. Yes, good luck with your project. Happy creating.